Hello everyone, today I will be reporting about Interdisciplinarity and Science, two essays on human evolution. 10th Quandary, the challenge of scientific illiteracy. Ian Marshall highlights that what distinguishes eco-criticism from other forms of literary analysis is its natural interdisciplinary approach. Eco-criticism as a field of study incorporates ideas and methods from various disciplines, blending elements of the natural sciences and the humanities to understand environmental and ecological themes in literature. This focuses on exploring two specific essays that exemplify this interdisciplinary nature of eco-criticism. These essays delve into the complex interface between the natural sciences, like biology or ecology, and the humanities, like literature and culture. The chapter aims to investigate how different intellectual approaches, literary expectations, and established conventions navigate and interact within this unique space where the sciences and humanities converge. One of the texts discussed is Ian Marshall's Tales of the Wonderful Hunt from 2003, which is an autobiographical essay exploring eco-criticism. It delves into topics such as evolution, literature related to hunting, and Marshall's personal experience with hunting. The other text is Stephen Jay Gould's Posture Makes the Man, written in 1977, which examines how cultural beliefs about human brain size have led to misinterpretations of human evolution. Both of these texts, despite their different styles, intentionally cross the boundaries of traditional academic disciplines. They do not limit themselves to one field of study. In doing so, they exemplify Julie Thompson Klein's argument that interdisciplinary work is critical because it reveals the limitations of the existing organization of knowledge when it comes to addressing certain tasks. Stephen Jay Gould was a famous writer who made science accessible to the public. However, this made him somewhat controversial among scientists because his essays often supported his unique theory of evolution. One of his essays, Posture Makes the Man, isn't about eco-criticism, but it does contribute to the understanding of how cultural beliefs and politics have influenced scientific views, especially in the study of human evolution. The central question in Posture Makes the Man is the key factor in human evolution. Is it a relatively large brain size, or is it the ability to stand upright, known as bipedalism? For a long time, scientists assumed that brain growth was the crucial element in human evolution. However, Sigmund Freud proposed that upright posture was the initial change that reoriented human perception from scent to vision, ultimately leading to new behaviors and the emergence of family groups as the basis of human reproduction. The current consensus, supported by fossil evidence, is that bipedalism came first, even in apes with chimpanzee-sized brains, and this adaptation enabled greater manual dexterity and cognitive development. Gould, who had Marxist leanings, argued that his views on evolution were compatible with Marxist dialectical materialism. He cited Friedrich Engels in his analysis of how Western science gave primacy to brain size and suggested that this bias reflected societal structures that devalued manual labor and elevated the intelligence of the ruling classes. Gould's essays tackled scientific controversies related to racial differences, IQ, and social biology, aiming to expose scientific conclusions based on false assumptions and prejudices. He believed that these scientific distortions were connected to broader social inequalities, reflecting an Enlightenment perspective that linked good science with social progress. Posture Makes the Man concluded by relating biases regarding brain size to the idealization of pure research over applied research. Gould suggested that popular science writers like himself faced criticism from their scientific peers. He saw his work as an essayist as a form of impure labor, uncovering hidden aspects of cultural politics within the scientific community. Gould proposed that recognizing the belief in the superiority of pure research could lead to a beneficial integration of theory and practice in the scientific world. Ian Marshall's essay Tales of the Wonderful Hunt is discussed. Marshall examines two theories about the prehistoric species Australopithecus africanus, one suggesting it was a hunter and the other proposing it was prey for other animals. To test these ideas, Marshall goes into the wilderness to see if he can bring himself to hunt and eat an animal. The essay follows a common literary theme of self-discovery in nature. Marshall attempts to test these hypotheses regarding human nature's predisposition for hunting. He embarks on a personal experiment, taking himself into the wilderness while backpacking to see if he can bring himself to kill an animal and eat it. This experiment forms a significant part of his essay. Tales of the Wonderful Hunt follows a narrative structure often seen in romantic literature, where nature serves as a backdrop for self-discovery and a return to supposedly more authentic identity. Marshall uses this wilderness setting to explore what is essential in human nature through engagement with non-man-made environments. The essay also introduces the concept of narrative scholarship, which combines elements of travelogue, personal memoir, cultural history, natural history, and academic study. This genre encourages eco-critics to explore the world and literature together and report on their findings. Tales of the Wonderful Hunt exemplifies this approach by blending different types of content and perspectives. However, the essay also highlights some limitations of the personal nonfiction essay as a means of addressing environmental issues. While it can incorporate various subjects like paleontology, folklore, and more, it may lack the rigorous argumentation and standards found in academic work. Marshall's quest to uncover insights about human nature through a mix of personal experiences and speculations on paleontology is engaging, but it may be less scientifically sound. He believes that determining whether Australopithecus africanus was a hunter or not has significant implications for understanding human nature and the role of hunting within it. Marshall also explores Abenaki folklore, drawing on Jung's assertion that folklore offers insights into an original, collective human nature. The essay is critiqued for not being scientifically accurate. The species he discusses, Australopithecus africanus, is too distant in human evolution for the question of whether it hunted to be relevant to humans. Some of its relatives were hunters, while others were not. Marshall also doesn't mention another species called Australopithecus robustus, which is more recent and likely vegetarian. The essay overlooks more direct human ancestors like Homo erectus and Homo habilis. Generally, whether a hominid species hunted or not is considered variable and depends on factors like tools and opportunity rather than a fixed, underlying human nature. This right here is a photo of a Neanderthal child. The essay examines several issues with Ian Marshall's approach in his essay Tales of the Wonderful Hunt. Firstly, it questions Marshall's idea that prehistory holds the key to an original human nature, because there are many pre-human hominid species with diverse characteristics. The existence of these species challenges the concept of a single, unchanging human nature and blurs the boundaries between humans and other animals. The text mentions the impact of seeing the reconstructed face of a Neanderthal child, which highlights the connection between extinct species and modern humans. Later in Marshall's essay, a methodological problem arises when he acknowledges that the theories of Dart and Brain about Australopithecus africanus may have been influenced by the cultural contexts of the times. Dart supported the man-the-hunter idea during a period of global violence, while Brain was influenced by 1960s pacifism. However, this constructivist argument undermines the entire premise of Marshall's experiment. If the concept of an original human nature is merely a reflection of contemporary concerns that change over time, then searching for this nature through hunting or in folklore loses its meaning. Moreover, claiming that science findings are as ambiguous and open to interpretation as any story diminishes the authority of paleontology. So, in summary, the essay suggests that Marshall's narrative scholarship highlights the challenges of achieving rigorous interdisciplinary work. Marshall's approach appears to lower intellectual standards, unlike Stephen Jay Gould, who responsibly used interdisciplinary work to challenge the scientific establishment's self-isolation. Gould emphasized the importance of vigilance against the culture of modern science and the oversimplified claims of reductionists in understanding human moral judgments. True interdisciplinarity should involve maintaining the high standards of each discipline while bridging them effectively. Gretel Ehrlich's book The Future of Ice, which is described as an adventurous work of ecofeminist creative nonfiction, Ehrlich's writing is influenced by her exposure to popular science, reflecting a form of interdisciplinary engagement that seems deeply felt and intuitive. However, it points out that Ehrlich's presentation of scientific facts can be quite inaccurate at times. She makes statements like the sun will be gone in 5 million years, or that snow is a black body absorbing all energy, and that without snow and ice, the earth would become a heat sponge. These inaccuracies are scientifically incorrect and contradict one another. This raises questions about the impact of such scientific inaccuracies on a text like The Future of Ice and the critical issues they pose. It suggests that this is a unique problem related to the ethical commitment of environmentalist writing. Environmental nonfiction often upholds a commitment to truthfulness, accuracy, and coherence akin to scientific or professional academic work. Ehrlich's errors in basic science may not entirely discredit her revisionist project, but they do weaken it. Her authority and her sensory engagement with the natural world relies on the scientific findings she presents. In contrast, the errors made by Thomas Hardy in his novel Two on a Tower do not undermine the overall plot and purpose of the story, which centers on themes like love, ambition, and aging. And that is all for my report. Thank you.